Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, the home of the owner handler, brought to you by Showsite Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers at home in New Jersey, here as always with Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor, who is on location live in Orlando, Florida. Lee, welcome. Good to see you.
It is so amazing here. It is better than ever.
Well, we're going to get back to your on location report. But before we do, I want to welcome everyone who is joining us wherever they may be. As always, let us know your breed, let us know where you're from, and let us know if you are in Orlando this week, or maybe you're headed there, or let us know if you've ever been to the AKC National Championship. It is the culmination of an interesting year, to be sure. But Lee, you arrived yesterday, I believe, so you've been able to get a little bit settled, maybe even ran around a ring a time or two. So, if you don't mind, let us know how things are going. What have you seen?
Well, I traveled on Monday, and as you know, it's a long trip from the West Coast. I was traveling with my puppy, and it was a very exciting trip for both of us. We made it, and we're quite happy to do so. And Tuesday, we started out yesterday. Um, in, you know, Judging started yesterday. So there are people here from all over the country, if not all over the world. There are breeder owner handlers, there are professional handlers, there are owner handlers. Everyone's here this week to see what all the excitement is about and to participate in this competition that is so essential to the sport of dogs.
It is essential, isn't it? There's the AKC National Championship, which will be held Friday, Saturday, uh, over the weekend. But you entered one of the three all breed shows that are held just the days before AKC National Championship.
Right.
So,
We call them the pre-shows. Um,
okay.
and I'm so glad that you're calling it the AKC National Championship Show. I always refer to it as the AKC Show or to Orlando because it's not Eukanuba anymore. It's not even Royal Canin today. It is the AKC National Championship Show. It is it is run by AKC and supported by Royal Canin, and we are so grateful for Royal Canin's support of purebred dogs and support of this show and so many shows around the country. But it
So
is
many
the
shows.
show, so many. And in fact, when I was in Thailand a few years ago, they supported a large um, uh, seminar that I gave um, on the Blue Ribbon Blueprint. Um, they supported that, and it happened all because Royal Canin came forward with a grant for them. So they are everywhere supporting dogs, and we should acknowledge them and thank them. And not only that, but gifts so far. I could tell you this week so far, gifts for Bred-By winners so far have been a cool Royal Canin laundry bag, for those long trips on the road in between laundromats. When you're on the road going back and forth from East Coast to West Coast and vice
Yes.
versa. And then today was a grooming apron. So for those of you who lost or forgot your grooming aprons and you won Bred-By today, you could get a brand new grooming apron.
Royal Canin was thinking of you. That is wonderful. And Royal Canin is also thinking about the Best in Show winner, NOHS, sorry, and they're offering a year's supply of Royal Canin dog food to the winner among many prizes that are being offered. It's extremely generous on their behalf and
Well, I have
certainly
to
something
say,
to
yeah, it
aspire
is.
to winning.
And
Let me,
Dog Show Mentor has a number of members who are competing in the NOHS finals. In fact, quite a number of them, and I'm thrilled and excited. Um, we are having a meetup of members on Thursday night, so it's the place to be if you're a Dog Show Mentor member too. So it's cool.
Well, best of luck to all Dog Show Mentor members who are in Orlando. We wish you luck every day, most especially at the AKC National Championship presented by Royal Canin. I believe that's the official name of the event. So um, let's talk about the owner handlers there and what this particular show and the shows leading up to it mean to the owner handlers who have received an invitation to compete at the AKC National Championship. So let's talk about that as perhaps a goal for next year, but also how this year's invitees are faring. So, what is the significance of that invitation to
Yeah.
owner handlers?
Well, if you are top 10 NOHS, you have a top 10 NOHS dog um, in your breed, then you have an invitation to come and compete. It doesn't matter whether you're number 1 or number 10. You're in that ring all together. Nobody's put a number 1 or a number 10 on you. It's what the judge decides. And that's pretty cool.
And that's really what dog shows are all about. It's really the best of the best competing in the same ring.
And you're equal, right? You're
Yes.
all equal. It's yeah, it's amazing to think about that in those terms. And I like the fact that the the groups are on Friday, and then the best is drum roll please on Saturday. So there's
Yes.
a little heightened suspense where everybody who has the best nerves, who has the best presentation, whose dog is in the best condition, whose dog has the best mindset. Remember we talked about that. Well, we've talked about it in Dog Show Mentor. Your dog has a mindset too. And are you wearing him out? Right? Are you making your dog tired just by overworking him? Do you know when those moments are when you can allow your dog to rest? Now, with only 10 dogs in the ring, you're probably not going to get much rest. But what about beforehand? And what about your dog? What about where you're putting him? Is he quiet in his crate? Is he happy there? Is he in a cool place? Do you have a fan on him? I mean, all these things contribute in the end to that final presentation of your excellent dog.
Well, it will be very exciting to see which dogs step into that ring on Saturday while all of the eyes around the world are really watching. And it's really significant, I'd say, for AKC to have the NOHS Best in Show on Saturday night, the same night that Best in Show or that other well, once again, all of the eyes are going to be on the sport and on that ring, and it's truly a. I just think it shows what the National Owner Handled Series means to the American Kennel Club, and their support of owner handlers throughout the year. It's
Right, and so it is a year that this year has shifted. So when we're talking about how important NOHS is to people, we need to understand that this year is different than any other year because the dates have shifted back from an October date to a September date because AKC wanted to give um, the exhibitors more time to enter. This year there was only, I think there were only 7 days that that entries were open from the time that the calculations, the final calculations came in on who was in the top 10 and the
okay.
time that entries closed. And so what AKC has done is shifted the year back 3 weeks to give everybody more time, give AKC more time to do those calculations and give exhibitors time to make their entries and get them in. Now, what that means though is that people who are competing heavily in September and October because they needed to finish strong for the year, and people who were sort of sitting back going, yeah, I got this. Now, people who had it for this 2021 show will have to work a little bit harder, maybe a lot harder in some cases, for next year. So it just goes to show that, you pick yourself up and you go, okay, well, there we are. I'm ready. So I would say to you, I don't know if we're getting, I can't tell on this tablet if we're getting feed from listeners, but you got to have grit and you got to work hard. And are you ring ready? Dan, do we have some people checking
We
in with us?
do. We do. Carrie says that the AKC National Championship is on her bucket list. She's not attending this year, but she is intending to go some year. Debbie loved attending last year. She's sad that she didn't go this year. And Jeannie says that she wanted to go since her dog ended up number 2, Irish Wolfhound, but it just wasn't possible with her work schedule. Certainly, schedules and end of year schedules, especially depending upon your line of work, it can be really tough to get away right before and during the holidays. But Jeannie, that's where planning comes in, and put in your vacation time, and there's always next year. We do have a couple questions here as well.
Okay.
Harry is asking Lee, in the NOHS, do they place the dogs best of breed, best of opposite only, or are there more placements? And maybe some of us who are watching don't quite understand how how novice owner handler series works. Maybe can you give us a quick review? You are a judge. How do you determine which owner handle dog advances out of the breed range?
Oh, well, there's a whole. It, this is an interesting question. It comes up a lot, and it comes up so much that I have posted the AKC's flow chart. It takes a flow chart to determine who gets the win. Now, the simple answer is if you're best of breed and you're owner handled, that's automatic. And then it goes downhill from there, and there's a whole flow chart. So if you're in the Dog Show Mentor Owner Handler Facebook group page, it's in the files section under the 3 dots, more files, and it says AKC NOHS flow chart. So there you go. And it's also available, of course, on the AKC website, but you can't find it as easily as you can in my Dog Show Mentor Owner Handler Facebook group, which everybody should be a member of, by the way.
Absolutely.
Should be a member.
Yes, everyone who's within earshot, if you're not a member of Dog Show Mentor, please become a member. Lee just gave you a tip on how you can find a shortcut to the flow chart for NOHS. There are many, 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 many tips that are available to Dog Show Mentor members. So please consider becoming a member. We've also got a comment here from Kay, who wanted to be there with you this year, Lee, but her girl was number 5 in breed, but she's home with week-old puppies, and Kay decided that the whelping box was more important maybe next year. I would agree with you, Kay. The whelping box is the most important part of what we do as purebred dog and
So let's
presentation.
talk about those breeders and the breeder
Yes.
stakes that's happening. So so far, Royal Canin is giving prizes for Bred-By-Exhibitor, and I think also best of breed, but I haven't. I'm showing class dogs, so I haven't gone breed yet. But Dan, do you want to talk about the Bred-By-Exhibitor stakes?
Well, to be honest, since I'm not in Orlando and I don't have a catalog in my hand, I'm not certain whether that is happening this year. I could be wrong about that. I do know that there is a puppy and junior stakes that is taking place. And I don't know exactly how that is run, but I do know that there are 3 judges who will be deciding on who the stakes winners are. And of course, there's junior showmanship as well. That's always a highly competitive ring to watch. And we will be looking to see who wins that. Actually, I just pulled up a schedule. Let's see. Well, it's an incomplete schedule that I have. So I guess the point is that the end of your show, the AKC National Championship, is truly an event unlike any other, where so many aspects of the sport, including performance events, are taking place and are honored and are open by invitation. So this is unlike virtually every other show that's held in the US. This is an invitational. And so whether you're watching the juniors, the puppy stakes, junior showmanship, national owner handled series, everybody's been invited. So you've worked hard all year long, and this has been, like last year, a very bumpy ride for exhibitors. And I think that the fact that you mentioned a moment ago how the window for qualifying was extended. I think, we don't know what will happen next year, do we? And so if I'm going to work towards receiving an invitation for next year, I need to start planning my year now. And I wonder if the dog show mentor might be the best resource for me as an owner handler for strategizing the year to come. And I know that you've got a mastery program that is going to get underway, Lee, and I'm going to use this opportunity for you to just remind everyone about that program and about the year ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. So the new mastery program is like nothing else that anyone has ever conceived of. This is not just pay for a year of any program ahead of time. This is a year-long commitment where people who are really dedicated to their dogs and are committed to bettering their presentation, making their dog um, perform, really, um, creating a dance with your dog. And it's not just this year. This is your runway for the future of your team today, tomorrow, and in 10 years. In 10 years, you'll look back on this mastery program and say, oh, I'm so glad I did that. It seemed like such a big commitment at the time. But truly, if you go to 40 or 50 shows a year, um, and that could be 10 weekends. So if you go to 10 weekends, 10 4-day shows, that's your 40 shows. You would be amazed at how much um, how much better you would be at the end of the year. We are going to be studying, reading, doing webinars. We're going to be doing 3-hour quarterly seminars with invited guest speakers. We are going to have fun doing it. We are going to have fun setting goals. There's all different segments, all built on what I call my life's work of Dog Show Mentor the last 6 years. So if you're that person, then there's still a couple spots left, and you should definitely contact me and make sure that there's still spots left before you send in your application. And I'm here. So I'm here in NOHS heaven. It's
Yes.
really been fun.
Yes, you'll never be more accessible than you are today and in the days to come there in Orlando. And I'm
And I want to say, too, that a couple people have set appointments with me for this week. And if you have an appointment with me, it's probably not going to happen because I am on site through Sunday, and it's very loud in the building, and there's always something going on, and people are running to rings and washing dogs and blowing dry, and every dog is in the most perfect condition it can be in. So it's not just me; it's everyone around me, and there's a lot of energy in the building. It's tremendous. It is truly one of the best shows of the year.
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly. Well, I have a few things to mention here, Lee. I just want to respond to a comment about Lee's audio. So you're not as clear as maybe you could be, but I want to remind everyone that Lee is on location, and we apologize for any interference that may be coming through. But I also want to respond to some questions about how do we find the rankings for NOHS by breed. And you can find that on akc.org, but also in the comments section, our producer Alex has put up a link. And so if you look through the comments, you are going to find a link that can take you to those. And you will find that for every breed and for all of the dogs that are in the top 100, and then again, the top 10 by breed. And Peg has joined us. She says that she's with you in Orlando, Lee, with her gorgeous Bernese
Coming to
Mountain Dogs.
me.
Um, and let's see. Oh, we've also got some of the smartest folks among our viewers, including Joyce, who says that Bred-By-Exhibitor is selected from each breed on Saturday and Sunday and advances to the groups and best. Best Bred-By-Exhibitor can be from the best of breed class, and that is true. So thank you, Joyce, for that information. Let's see. Kathy has a comment. She says that it drives her crazy, Lee, when judges just hand the NOHS Best of Breed ribbon to whoever qualifies in line. So, well, that's a question, Kathy, that I don't think we can really answer here. But I think that if somebody hands me a ribbon, I just accept it graciously, whether it is served to me on a silver tray or whether it's just handed at me. You know, if my dog and I have earned that win, and I feel that we did a wonderful job, and I'm proud of my dog. I guess the ribbon is just a memento of that. But Lee, what do you have any comments on?
Yeah. So it does happen, um, and if you find that um, when the judge points that you are eligible, by all means, stay in the ring and call to the attention. That's why that NOHS flow chart is so good. Um, bring it to the attention of the steward, who will then bring it to the attention of the judge that there is still an exhibitor waiting to be placed, possibly the NOHS competition. And it may just remind a judge who may have just had it slip their mind that there is a competition, that there is a runoff here.
Well, thank you. I see, and Kathy, I apologize. I didn't read your question all the way through, but she says that the judge hands the ribbon, but then does not allow the opposite sex to compete, a dog or a bitch that qualifies. So I think that you did address that, Lee, and I want to thank you for that. Lee, if you don't know, folks, is a multi-group judge. She's also a breeder, owner, handler, as well as the dog show mentor. You have a heavy workload there, Lee, but you make it all look effortless, and including broadcasting live on location in Orlando. Um,
It's so much fun to be here, and I get to see people that I only get to see once or twice a year because, of course, I'm from the East Coast and proud of it. And so I get to see old friends. I get to see dogs that I haven't ever seen, that I've seen maybe um, from afar, and I get to see them in the flesh. Maybe I've seen them on television, on the AKC TV, but I get to see them here live and in the flesh. And that's what it's about. It's about seeing these beautiful dogs. You have to set your eye to beautiful dogs. You
mm,
have to set your eye to dogs that are not of good type. So, right? So,
yes.
coming here and seeing all the beautiful dogs, How many Irish Water Spaniels are entered? Do you happen to know?
There are, I believe, 4 or 5, depending on the day in the show.
Right.
Um, yeah, which for a rare breed like mine, that's actually a respectable entry. I did see that there are about 16 Sussex Spaniels entered, so that's exciting.
There's
And
even one with a junior.
yes, and there are, I think, if I have this right, there are 14 Danish Swedish farm dogs. It may be 14 or 15. And so, could you imagine the opportunity that is presented there in a ring where this new breed that's come along the scene is now in a single ring in those numbers, and you can only imagine the quality and the education that is awaiting anyone who heads over to that ring. And of course, that's true of every ring. You said it best when you said the qualities there train your eye. When you're at a show like this, Westminster would be another show among many. Yes, boy, you walk away thinking, oh, now I understand a bit more about that breed
In
because
fact,
there it
today
is.
I watched Nova Scotia duck tolling retrievers, and Michael Faulkner was judging, and it's always such a pleasure to watch him sort through a large entry of dogs, and particularly this breed, and I've come to admire greatly.
Hmm.
Uh, I love I love the essence of the tollers and how they present themselves in the ring. It really is still, you can still see them running along the banks of the river, almost calling the geese in or the ducks in with their playfulness. It's yeah, it's quite an interesting breed. It was a lot of fun to watch him this morning.
Yeah, that what you just described, that's magical. We've all, if we paid attention, we've seen that in many breed rings, where under a respected judge, an expert in the breed, and an entry full of quality, yes, your mind just goes to that field, goes to that water, goes to that mountaintop, and you can imagine these dogs doing exactly what they were bred to do. And it's one of the thrills about being at a show such as the AKC National Championship. Your mind can just wander to those places. We've got just a few more minutes, but I want to thank everyone who has joined us today. Joyce, as always, Peg, thank you for joining. Peg says you look great, by the way, Lee. That's really, really sweet, Peg. Kristen has a question. Kristen, I think we'll take your question for maybe another episode about the owner handler specifically. But I want to thank you, Kristen, for that question. Lee and I will consider that. Kathy, thank you for your question as well. And Kathy thanks you, Lee, again for your answers. I want to thank Jen. I want to thank Carrie. And yes, everybody who has joined us today. We know that this is a busy time of year for everyone. And so the fact that you can take time out of your day to join us, uh, I really appreciate that. Lee, I'm headed to Orlando, as you know. I'm going to be joining you at the end of the week. So I'll be anxious to hear about everyone that you've seen and what you've seen and which
We should
dogs to look
we
out
should do
for.
a pop up Facebook Live.
We can do that.
Do
Well,
that.
our producer Alex will be with us, and so maybe she can help to make that possible. So look out if there's going to be a pop up, folks. You may be seeing us live again and on location, but if not, we will be seeing you next week when we will be doing a recap of the AKC National Championship and the pre-shows and just the week that was. And we will be congratulating the winners, including the Best in Show NOHS
Oh,
team.
and don't forget to talk about the booth, Dan. And we have prizes. We have a is it a raffle prize?
Yes,
Those
indeed.
in
Thank you, Lee, for that. Yes, Show Site Magazine, Ring Ready, has a booth at the AKC National Championship. It is located near rings 4 and 5 between the AKC Museum of the Dog booth and the AKC Reunite booth. just across from the AKC booth. So look for us there. We have a lot of information, a lot of magazines, and yes, we have a contest as well. I believe we have an ugly sweater contest going on as well. So listen, ugly sweaters are not my thing. I don't know if you think this one is ugly, Lee, but many people celebrate the holiday season by donning an ugly sweater. If you have one, folks, and you're headed to Orlando, pack it away and wear it. You may win a prize with Showsite Magazine and Ring Ready. So we are looking forward to seeing all of you in Orlando. Please come by the booth and say hello. If you see Lee or I, let us know if you're a viewer. We are always excited to meet viewers and advertisers in Ring Ready. And of course, we are always happy to have you join us here every Wednesday at Ring Ready Live. So, Lee, until I see you, have fun, take care. Best of luck to you and your TT puppy.
Thank you.
And best of luck to everyone else who is in Orlando competing. And if you're not, you can tune into AKC TV to watch some of the events live. I know that the groups will be live streamed as well. So until next week, everyone, remember, dogs are fun. So have fun with your dogs.
And not only see you in the winner's circle, but come and join me and come and introduce yourself to me because I want to meet you if you're an owner handler.
You heard it from Lee. Owner handlers, get over to Lee and say hello and come by the show site booth as well. So until next week, everyone, bye bye and have fun with your dogs.
Bye bye.